This program is brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?
When running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
The infamous Black Friday sale is about to hit stores this Friday the 29th. Most stores, if not all of them, have out huge sale deals on our products. The sale attracts thousands of consumers at a time, who at times fight for these items on sale or even vandalize the stores. The kicker is, half the items here always seem so unnecessary, but are bought under the guise that they are on a supposed 50% markdown and so mysteriously become a necessity. We have found that there are people who still have items with price tags on and have never worn those items because of such sales. Usually, these sales lack adequate information to inform customers of various important factors. Say, for example, which items are on sale, by how much, how many are on sale, and for how long. What ends up happening is customers grabbing items off the shelves that are not included for that sale, which can end up having some negative financial ramifications for unsuspecting individuals. As a consumer, how do you go about shopping smart during the Black Friday sale? What are you supposed to be aware of to protect yourself against dubious promotions? And how should you prepare yourself financially for such? To kick off our conversation, we hear from consumer rights activist at the consumer watchdog, Kate Harriman, about what we should know first about sales as consumers and what we should be aware of to avoid being played.
I think the first thing to say about Black Friday sales is be aware of your legal rights before you go shopping. And also think about the motivation. Why do stores have Black Friday sales? So I think my first question is, are you really getting a bargain? That's question number one. Yeah. And are you really getting what you think you're getting? So when you go shopping, I think there's certain things that you need to know. Firstly, the law is on your side in terms of advertising. So when a company advertises they're going to have a sale, the information they supply must be true. So you can't say there's a discount when in actual fact there isn't a discount. You can't put your prices up before the sale to pretend that there's actually a discount when it comes to a sale. But I think let's just talk about the concept of Black Friday as a whole. There's a lot of hype and a lot of hysteria over the whole Black Friday concept. And really I think it's the start of the Christmas silly season, and it's when stores will look to offload a lot of their old stock, ready for new stock coming in. So things that haven't sold throughout the year, they want to get rid of. Often they'll entice you with items that are on discount in order to get you in the store. So they want mass numbers of consumers coming in. And while you're in the store, they'll rely on the general hype and the hysteria. I mean, last year was an absolute disgrace with shop windows being broken and doors being broken down and general chaos. But they rely on the hype of you thinking you're getting something that's a bargain to actually sell you things that are not even on sale. So it's not always what you think you're going to get.
Let us talk about what am I entitled to as pertaining the returns from the sale. If you bought an item on sale and you want to return it, the refunds of it, the false advertising, and being duped out of your money.
Well, the first thing is Section 7 of the Consumer Protection Act 2018 talks about bait advertising. So what they mean by that is adverts that entice you to do something. So they entice you to go into the store. What the law says is that when you advertise, the information must be true. you must state the period that the offer applies for. So, for example, you'll see it's offer valid from the 20th of November to the 25th of November. So you must say the duration of the special offer. If you don't say the duration of the special offer, the law says that a customer can deem that to be for 1 month from the date of the advert. So if you advertise as a 100 pula discount and you don't say it's only for these 2 days, the law says it's for a whole month from the date of that advertisement. The law also says that what you say in an advertisement must be true. And you must say if there's limited quantities. So you can't advertise, let's say, a TV, and you advertise that it was 3,000 pula, it's now only 50 pula. And a customer gets to the shop and they actually say, well, we don't actually have any stock. They can't do that. They have to say there's limited stock, and they also have to say that, the law says they have to predict the level of demand that consumers might have for those goods. So if you're going to advertise a TV for 50 pula, I don't think only having one in stock meets anticipated demand. So basically what the law says is stores need to play fair. Now I think as far as consumers, what we need to do is we need to make sure we do our research before we buy something. So for example, when an item is advertised on display on a shelf, the first thing to ask is, if you're buying an electrical item, say, does it have a warranty? What are the warranty terms? So it's no good buying it and coming home and saying, oh, I bought the wrong iron or I bought the wrong kettle and I've changed my mind. There is no right in law to take something back because you've changed your mind. So that's entirely at the discretion of the store. So the answer for consumers is to find out before you buy. The moment you've paid, you've handed over your money, it's too late because you've entered into a contract with the store, you've purchased the item. So do your research before you hand over your money.
All hype, you know, it's exciting, it's in time for the festive season, but is it worth it? What makes it so different from all the other sales that happen during the course of the year?
Well, I don't actually think it does make much, or it is very different from other sales during the course of the year. Often you'll see, for example, at the end of a season, we've just come into summer, winter clothes are sold at heavily discounted rates because stores don't want them in their shops sitting there until next year when fashion's changed. So it's not always the bargain that you think you're going to get. And I guess the question for any consumer is, was I going to buy it anyway? So if you were going to buy 200 nappies anyway, and you can get them for 100 pula off, then it's a good deal. But the question is it money that you can afford to spend? Were you going to spend it anyway? So I think the advice is, when you go out shopping on Black Friday, know what it is you want, prepare beforehand, and stick to a budget. Maybe only take the amount of money that you were going to spend with you, because it's very easy and shops manipulate you. You know, please let's not think that they're doing this for our benefit. Stores are only doing it because they're making money out of it. They're getting rid of stock that they couldn't sell during the year because people will buy it when it's at a discount, and they're generating hype, encouraging us to spend more money than we anticipated we were going to spend.
When running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
A few years ago, The only time one would see African leaders in significant numbers was at gatherings of what used to be known as the Organization of African Unity, which has since changed its name to the African Union. Today, this group of African leaders are the most sought after in the capitals of the world's superpowers. Over the last few years, there has been gatherings of nearly all the leaders of the 54 African countries in Washington in 2014, Beijing, China in 2018, and most recently, the city of Sochi, Russia, a few weeks ago. Various analysts say that the interest of these superpowers in what used to be known as the Dark Continent is motivated by the access to Africa's natural resources and its market offerings for these superpowers' arms of war. But is this true? What is it that Russia is offering Africa that the other superpowers, being the United States of America and China, may not be already offering? Tonight, we are privileged to host the Russian ambassador to Botswana, His Excellency Dr. Viktor Ivanovich Sibilev, to discuss this matter.
The Russia-Africa Summit, as you probably know, took place on 23-24 of October in Sochi. Probably you remember that Sochi, the resort city of our country, which lies at the coast of the Black Sea in the south of Russia. The objective of the summit was to improve the political dialogue and economic cooperation between Russia and Africa, and this dialogue and cooperation with our traditional African partners and new African friends.
During all of these meetings and interactions, what was learned that could help the Russia-Africa relations moving forward?
Official delegations from African countries and business representatives expressed their keen interest in the further development of relations and in deepening our economic cooperations in many spheres. Priority areas of cooperation were to discuss, first of all, energy, including renewables, infrastructure development, for instance, especially railway and housing construction, modern and high-tech extraction and processing of mineral resources, agriculture, digital technologies, oil and gas exploration, medicine, science and education. President of the Russian Federation, Mr. Putin, said that in 2018 the total trade volume between Russia and Africa reached $20.7 billion. However, it is still doesn't reflect the potential of our relations, the potential of trade, economic and investment cooperation. However, the trade between Russia and Africa has doubled over the last 5 years. Africa is a continent that is home to the youngest and fastest growing population on the planet, and mutually beneficial partnership therefore is crucial to the development of our countries' relations and the Russia-Africa Summit will play a leading role in this process.
Africa has always had relations with other superpowers, your China and your United States of America. So what is it that Russia will be offering Africa that these two is already not?
The Russian Federation is the country which follows after the Soviet Union. And during the Soviet era, we had very good, very advanced relation with the African continent. Russia is considered by our African partners as a true partner, counterpart, and which provided its assistance in resolving a set of diverse challenges. Russia would like to deliver simultaneously, for instance, military products, develop energy, including nuclear and solar, explore mineral stores, build, for instance, roads and railways, and train specialists. Moreover, our country is not associated with the colonial past of the African continent. That is why the Russian Federation may be trusted as an unbiased mediator in resolving some challenges and conflicts on the continent.
When running a business means
Where did I put that receipt?
we can help you with instant accounting, free software that does your bookkeeping for you. When running a business means
Wait, what do you mean the container hasn't arrived?
we help protect your business from risk with Mohwebi Insurance. And when it means
How do we pay our staff that don't have bank accounts?
we help you make multiple payments directly to people's phones with e-wallet bulk send. At FNB, we're constantly innovating to help business owners at every stage of their journey.
Welcome back to First Issues. As a parent, you're constantly teaching your children all things that they know. So sharing, caring, how to ride a bike, cooking, and sometimes driving when they come of age, and maybe some good communication skills. All these things parents teach with ease, except some subjects that are still considered taboo, like the topic of money. We have all heard of stories of that one family that had everything and were courteous enough to set aside a trust fund for their children. The parents unfortunately pass away, leaving all property, including houses, cars, land and businesses to the children. Once they are of age and are eligible to claim their inheritance, they clear out their accounts in no less than 6 months or a year at best. These children throw wild parties for their friends, unnecessarily book out lodging facilities for said friends, eat out at expensive restaurants, and buy expensive gifts for their friends. While still there, they sometimes sell the assets they inherited, even so far as running their businesses down to closure to keep up with the new lifestyle they have adopted. If this scenario happens all too often, and many people wish they were better at managing money from an earlier age, why is the subject of money matters such a thorny topic in most families? Well, the pickle is, if you do not have money, you do not want to worry your children. But when you do have it, the fear is raising children that are spoiled and entitled. Our guest tonight is financial consultant Tumelo Tumelo, who will be giving us an introductory crash course in teaching children about money. Tumelo says there is no appropriate time to teach children about sound financial management. As soon as a parent starts sending their children on errands with cash, that is the time to begin.
The best place to start teaching children about money is as soon as a child has some level of comprehension of how to use money. When you find yourself giving kids money, then know that that is the best time to teach them how to manage money.
But where exactly do we start in that context? You know, do you start with teaching them how to budget, how to save? Where exactly?
The first starting point is to make them understand what money is. You know, it's to make them understand what money can do for them. It's to, good or bad really, it's to make them understand how to make money work for them. And also depending on their age, when maybe the under 7 or just about 7 years old, you don't want to bring in heavy, you know, content. It is just to make them understand, you know, saving is important because of 1, 2, 3. Yeah. It is teaching them how to prioritize the difference between needs and wants. That whenever we go to the supermarket, it's not that we should always be buying candy. You know, it's to teach them that between stationery and toys or candy, when you have or when you're down to your last 2 pula, what do you prioritize on? Do you buy the candy or do you buy the pencil that you need at school the next day? And you take it a notch up as they age to say saving is important. You know, every time parents give kids money, it's always take 5 pula, go buy sweets. Take this much, go buy this. It means at a very young age, we entrench the idea of spending money only as opposed to both spending and sparing some for later. So these are small gestures or small practices that we teach our kids without realizing. And then they grow up to be adults that blow any amount of money that they have. You know, they know that my dad did a little hojewa. You know, my dad sutelana, sutelana. You know, these are connotations that these kids grow up to believe, and they become irresponsible adults with money.
In an age where money is now digitized, you know, you don't come into contact with money so often. You know, our parents swipe, we swipe. At the ATM, you hardly ever cash any money out. Basically, money you never see, you know. So in that age, where or how do we make children aware of actual money so that when they come into contact with it at a certain age, they know what to do with it and how to handle it?
All right, great. I'm glad you're talking about, you know, the evolution of and how we live in an advanced world. So to teach kids about money in this technological era is to engage them in the processes. You know, when you go to deposit money at the ATM or when you do your banking, make them part of the process. Don't leave them at home or don't keep them busy with a game or don't distract them. Call them and show them what is going on. That is part of learning. You know, sometimes hand the cards to them. Let them be the ones swiping or let them be the ones, you know, withdrawing money. Just engage them in the current processes or systems that are there so that they're part of it as it evolves and at the level at which the world is operating as far as money is concerned.
This program was brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.
FNB, how can we help you?